Okay, so here we go. You're getting water in your fuel. Where's it coming from? And I tell you, most of the time, it's not the filling station or the marina. Most of the time, it's a boat issue. And I'm going to just take you through the first things that I check. And number one thing is your fuel fill. You're going to want to make sure, just brought this as an example, that the O-ring and seal is in good shape. And you're going to want to use a silicone-based lubricant on this. And I've learned the hard way when I was a kid. If you put a petroleum grease on this, it actually reacts with the rubber and it'll make it deteriorate faster. You'll actually end up with small little cracks in that, and then you're kind of defeating your purpose. So a silicone grease, you can get it at an auto parts store. A lot of times they sell it right at the counter as a spark plug boot grease, or a dive shop. Silicone grease is common in the scuba industry just for that reason. So make sure that's in good shape. The other thing I've seen with setups like this is, how is this positioned? I've also seen these positioned where water will actually pool in an area like this. And many times, this is just a standard fuel fill, but there are fuel fills that have a integrated vent. In other words, the cap also has a built-in vent, and usually it's larger or round. But check that, because water can actually pool in there. Key West was known for it. Key Largo used to use them a lot. And the water will actually pool in here and act like a funnel, and it'll overflow and go in through the venting cap. So your fuel fill, make sure that's happy and healthy. And the next thing, this is the standard fuel vent that we've seen for years. Stainless steel fuel vent. For one, the location of the vent. I've seen these mounted in the stern of the boat on the side, very close to the water line. Not real close, but if you get a couple guys in the back fishing, a little water in the boat, it can actually have waves slap against it, and that water action will work its way right into your gas tank, one slap at a time. So double check the location of this, and there's a couple ways around it. When they used to use these a lot, the proper installation method was you would have it on, and you would put a coil on the hose, and that would be inside the boat, preferably up. So this coil would actually act as a water trap. See if you can get an idea of that. So if you did get that little slap of water against the side of the boat, the water would lay down in here. And it has a small amount of capacity, but it has its limitations. Of course, if there's too much and then you're using the boat, the vacuum is actually going to draw that water in. So it's just, a small amount of capacity. Now another option, I really like these. These things work really good. This has a water trap built into it. And again, this goes to the side of the boat. That's the only part you're seeing on the outside. And all this is internal. And it actually has a little stand tube inside there. So if you do get a slap of water against it, it has to overcome this trap before it can go down into your fuel supply. And that's a great way to go. The other example I don't have here to show you, but check the top of your fuel tank. A lot of the boats with the polypropylene fuel tanks, over time with the heat, they can actually get a concave condition where deck water that leaks down through can actually pool up on top of the fuel tank. And what will happen is you'll take a look at your fuel gauge sender, which is on top of the tank, and it can corrode and distort, and the top of your fuel tank is actually acting like a large funnel, funneling water right into the top of your fuel tank. So check that. If it's an aluminum tank, check the top of the fuel tank for any kind of corrosion or pitting. I've seen corrosion on the tops of the fuel tanks, which will also allow water to enter in. All right, I hope that was helpful. And as always, please feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe.